Record. Welcome back to the Total Freedom Radio Show with Rena Lynn, the show that's all about raising the bar of knowledge, healing hurting people, and spiritual warfare. And I totally forgot and said radio show again, but we are no longer a radio show. We are now on Roku and Amazon TV and a TV show and on multiple video platforms. And today we are going to talk about oh, hang on a minute. One more time. I got ahead of myself. Don't forget to go to renalyn.com, sign up for my newsletter, and check out my new video series, Prepare for the End. I think you'll like it. Go to Amazon, get yourself a book, and put a review up there. Amazon runs on those reviews. Today, we are brought to you by Oliabo, a new startup company that I've become involved in. And just so happens that I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman that is also in this company, and he has made um, very successful story for himself in a startup company by other developers that develop this same company. Welcome, John Machlovitz, to the Total Freedom Show. We are so excited to have you today. How are you?
Great. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This is going to be exciting.
I'm excited about it. Let's start off with just a little bit about yourself, John, because my audience doesn't know you. So where are you from? What were you doing before Oliabo and the other company that you became involved in? And even before network marketing whatsoever and direct sales?
Oh, great question. Well, I have humble beginnings. I started off, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. If you want to know my accent, I actually have a Long Island accent. I grew up in Island Park, Long Island, many, many years ago. Seems like yesterday, but great place to grow up. Just a regular family, mom, dad, and, brother and a sister. But then life became a turn. My father ended up passing away, and so it was mom and three kids, and life became very difficult at times. And we moved to New Jersey, and I grew up on the Jersey Shore. What a great place to grow up! The beach, the weather, all the entertainment, and I had. A little bit of a rough start in my own life, got married young and had some kids, and it was a little tough. Ended up having four boys in my life. One was a stepson that I took care of, a great kid, all good kids. And then one day someone introduced me to an opportunity with Amway, and I didn't know anything about what it was even all about or anything. And that's where my journey began. So that was my past. I did very well in school. I wasn't good in high school or anything because no good role models. But when I went to college, I did very well, mainly because I had to pay back that loan, and I had that fear of not having a good job. So while everyone else was having fun, partying, and doing all the fun things, I'm in there studying, and I hit the dean's list and the president's list, and I got hired from AT&T right out of school, which is very impressive, for someone who knew nothing about electronics. That was what I was getting into. I went to DeVry University, and it was a good turning point for my life. So my career was moving forward, but I knew I would have to work and work and work and work, and to get ahead. And then someone offered me the Amway opportunity. So that was really where the turning point was. I kind of jumped ahead, but pretty much that was it.
That's okay. I find that interesting, especially you had trained for electronics and you have this career ahead of you. So, what intrigued you about network marketing and direct sales to begin with? Were you already into sales of some type, or was it hard to make that
well,
transition?
Well, I always like the idea of sales. I think, sharing something with somebody and them getting the benefit out of it and you making a little money out of the deal is always a good thing. It's like a win-win, especially if it's something that's has value to it. I didn't want to just sell junk. I wanted to always have something of value. And I found the Amway products to have some value to it. I didn't really understand the industry all that much. It was a learning curve. But I did notice is that these people had something that I wanted, and it was more than just money. It became a way of a lifestyle where I could have more time and I could spend more time with my family, and and I could raise my children. And I knew it just took some effort to get there, but I knew they had it. But in the beginning, it was a rough start. I made little or no money with the Amway opportunity, which was a humble beginning, but it's a learning curve. But I didn't give up. So I was around 27, 28 years old when that began. And I stayed in them for a little while. And then another opportunity came on board for this weight loss product. And my wife, who I'm not married to anymore, but she lost 4 dress sizes in 3 months. We were off to the races. So we started sharing that with everybody. By then, I already had a few other businesses. I had a home business where I was selling homes, fixing them and selling them, um, turning over a lot of homes. And then also I had an appliance repair business. So I got out of corporate America and went into appliance repair. But in the meantime, I was doing these marketing companies, selling this weight loss product. And it was running really well until, the FDA gets involved in people were doing some wrong things. So I kind of lost heart in the industry. But then a good friend of mine came and offered me a different company, and I turned him down. I said, I'm not interested. Don't bother with me. I don't want to have anything to do with that again. And he said, well, just take a look. So I figured, hey, it never hurts to just look. So he drove 2.5 hours to my home from Pennsylvania, and he shared this juice product with me, and it tasted really good. And he told me about the value, and I joined on board. By then, I was um, about 38, 39 years old. So it's been since 28, about 10 years of, doing network marketing on and off and living life. By then, I had 4 grown children, a house, a family. So I had a lot on my plate. I was working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, fixing appliances. And no lie, I said, before my friend actually came, I said to him, I prayed that night. I got on my knees. I said, God, if you don't do something, I'm going to die fixing appliances 12 hours a day, 6 days. I have no life. Oh, yeah, I'm making money, but what good is money if I have no life? And my friend came to my home 2.5 hours, and he shared that opportunity with me. And I actually never looked back from then on. I knew it was God, and I started to share that product with other people. And from there, the tables turned, and it was a battle like every other business, every other challenge we have. And I started to share it with others, and the business grew. For the first 3 months, it didn't grow very well. I had to learn about the product, the business, but I tried the product. My wife, who was a diabetic, after about 6 months, never took diabetic medicine anymore. She used to get migraines so bad. She couldn't, she'd have sleepless nights. She'd have to stay in the dark, no more migraines. And the list goes on with just hundreds and hundreds of people who gave testimonies of the product. And the opportunity grew, and my finances grew. But for me, it was the money was so I could have freedom to do what I needed to do, not only for me and my family, but I also, as a Christian, believe in to do work for the kingdom. I believe in, doing the right thing for the kingdom. God does want us to enjoy our life. And I'm going to share some pictures, so you could share those pictures, and I could
You
tell
ready
a
for me to
short
put that up?
story about, yeah, I could tell a little bit about where the Lord has led me through my life.
For one reason or another, it's not going up there. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get it up there.
Okay.
It might work better if I
Okay.
did the right box.
Yeah, these pictures are the ones in Thailand. Um, if you
Let
want
me
to
re
pause it
let me
anywhere.
restart that for you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this one's from Thailand. This was the first trip. This is when I was it's for the high achievers. I never thought of myself as a high achiever. All I did is help other people, help other people, help other people, help other people. And from there, I was able to go there. This is a picture of I get to go to an orphanage. All these kids right here in Thailand, all their parents. Look at the great smiles, and all their parents died in the tsunami. You want to take them all home. They're such good kids, and what a blessing just to have that opportunity to go to the other side of the world. This is somebody um, who grew up with nothing. You can go on. This was another trip the company sent me because we kind of fed more starving children all over the world. So they sent me back to Thailand for Operation Smiles. If you're not sure what that is, that's where these kids who have the cleft lips or the palates, if they don't get this operation, they could actually go deaf, they can go blind, they can get real sick and die. There's a lot of ailments. And I got the opportunity to be in the operating room with these surgeons. That's why I'm all dressed up, and stand right next to them while they do this operation and pray over these children and their families.
How
So
rewarding.
how rewarding. Yes, absolutely. There's a picture of my youngest boy, what the business actually gave me besides finances was the finances was, a blessing, but the blessing of getting to go fishing with your kids, go to their soccer games, being the only dad at the school lunch. When there's all moms who get to go to the lunch, you're the only dad there. I raised four boys and I got to go to all their games and be part of their life. And what a blessing. You can't take back time. So, if you ever look at an opportunity that's going to give you time besides money. Is you can make money doing a lot of things, but if it doesn't offer a time benefit, you're actually going backwards because now you're giving up time to make more money, to have more money, but you're not giving up time so you can have more time. I used to go to meetings on Saturdays and people would be like, "Oh, you're taking your Saturday to drive and go to a meeting?" And I said, one day it will always be a Saturday. And I lived every day as a Saturday besides Sunday for church. So think about when you're doing something. This is a truck that I got to pay cash for. I lived in a beautiful home out in Tennessee. I moved from New Jersey. You want to show the rest of the pictures of the home. Yeah, I got to buy this house out there on an acre. I lived in the country. I had a cow farm behind my house. I went from 1,800 square feet to 4,200 square feet. And it's not boasting. It's about what the Lord has blessed me because I help people, help people, help people. If all you are doing is helping you and yourself, there's really not much reward in that in life. The reward is to go help a lot of people. I got a chance. This is another picture of me in Thailand when I first got there. You see how young I was? So time goes quickly. This is probably 20, a little more than 20 years ago. What a blessing.
Wow.
You know, um, I like to show this. This is one of my favorites. It's one sunset. There's many sunsets, and you only get one every day. Don't miss them.
John, I am so
And
excited to hear that story because I like you. It's not about the money, it's about the time, it's about the
yeah.
freedom, it's about being able to go to the things you want to do. You're not tied to a desk, you're not tied to someone else's schedule. So I love it. So, how did you overcome the startup when no one was interested in the product? No one was interested in wanting to join you in this endeavor, or they even trusted the process? Because I know as this new startup company, I'm running into a little bit that as well. It's a new company, people aren't sure what to do. So how did you overcome that in the prior company?
Well, that's a great question because it's difficult because you want your friends to have what you see. You always want them to see what you see. You're excited. You see an opportunity. You don't know why you see it and they don't. It's you know, and when I first got in, let me tell you something. My good friend Dennis got in with me, and that was it. And my mother. imagine that. All these people I share this with, and they all like, oh, yeah, well, let's see how it goes for you. But let me tell you something. When it went well for me, they still didn't get in. They just don't expect everyone to see it, good friend or no friend. You still share the opportunity because they may see it and they may want what you have. Not everyone wants what we have. Not everyone's willing to do what you're doing. Think of somebody who plays the guitar. They have to practice many hours. I'd love to play the guitar, but am I willing to practice that many hours to get good at it? Not everyone's there. So don't be upset, that they don't see what we see. Maybe they will in the future. Maybe timing isn't right. So what I did is I went outside and I started talking to people I didn't know who became actually my best friends in life because they did have the same vision as I did. And someone shared with me once before, it was like me and my family. He said to me, he goes, you and your family are rowing through life. First, it starts with you, then it's you and your wife, and then it's you and your children. And now you're all rowing in this boat against the stream. And he said, why don't you just come and attach to our boat? Or climb in our boat and we'll all row together and get in the boat with all these other people. And you don't have to row as hard anymore. And we work as a team. So when I got in, figured that out in my mind, I didn't understand that at 28. I understood it at 40, that it was easy to do it as a team of people and we all row in the same direction. And whoever wants to come in the boat, we help and share and we care for them. And it's all about a family and a team of people going in the same direction. When you get in these opportunities, you get to travel with people from all over the world to go all over the world. And it's not about just traveling, it's about spending time with people you care about. And let me give you a little heads up about the founders. The founders of this company who were with the last company, and they sold that business and started this one. These guys are top notch. They care about us. They go far beyond that what they ever to do. For me to go to Thailand twice, I don't think they ever sent anybody else back to Thailand, as far as I know. But it was such a blessing that they cared enough to do that again. So these are the type of people we're dealing with. We're not dealing with corporate America, where they're thinking about the bottom line. We're dealing with a company of founders that care about people. They could sell this product on the internet and make billions over time, but they choose to help us and our family. So don't look at the person who you're sharing it with only. I look at it when I share with you, Rena, I'm looking at who do you know that we can share it with and help them, their family also.
I love that, but let me ask you something, because I know I've talked to lots of different people. I'm like you, I've been in sales and I've heard it all. But what about the people that say, "Okay, you had an extraordinary experience once, but you were just lucky and it can't happen again." What would you say to them?
Well, everything's a challenge. So I don't think there's any luck. The harder I work, the luckier I get. It's a numbers game with sales, with everything. If I talk to five of my friends and four say no, I got one. You know what? I don't look at the four that said no. I look at the one who said yes. And I go help them build their family's dream and what they want out of life. And then if I share it with another five and none of them get in, I don't think about them. I go share it with another five. And I consistently keep sharing it with people because I know this can benefit me and my family and benefit them. And we can do it as a team.
Now, John, this time it's different. This time we have the internet, we have a lot of new ways to do sales. So, what is different in your opinion from a direct sales the way it used to be, one-on-one people, and what this company's offering now? Because there's a lot of people will tell me, I don't know how to sell anything. I don't want to be a salesman.
Right.
What would you say to them?
Well, yeah, the beauty of it is, if you watch on the internet, you look at these young guys. These guys are in their 20s making millions on the internet, and they probably don't even have a product or whatever they're marketing in their house. They don't care. It doesn't matter. They're marketing their business. They're taking the next step. They're looking at a new vision where we don't go door to door. Remember, it started off with people selling vacuums door to door. Then that stopped. Then they started doing home meetings, and then that stopped. And then they started. Now everything's done on the internet, and there's so many ways. And we are actually building a whole system right now that anyone who joins our team can utilize that system to be able to start marketing this product at little or no cost to themselves and be able to share great videos, great information, great. You get a free website with this opportunity. You don't even have to buy any product to make money with this opportunity. I've never been in a deal like that before.
You
It's
just
always
direct
about
people to the websites, right?
warehousing. I don't warehouse, I don't ship, I don't store. All I got to do is share what the product has done for me. You don't mind if I share my testimony on this
Oh,
product?
please go ahead. I love it.
Yeah, I actually, when I first got the product, I was a little skeptical. These guys are online. I'm watching the founders, they're doing webinars, and I'm watching, trying to learn about what's going on, the product, the ground floor opportunity. Everyone says, oh, the best time to get in is ground floor opportunity. Yes and no. There's challenges and everything. Well, anyway, everyone kept asking them, hey, how are you guys feeling? Oh, I just feel good. I just feel good all the time. So I finally got my product one day. It was finally shipped. The company just really opened. I got the product. I took it that afternoon. I was so excited. I drank some water with it. It comes as pills. And that evening, I just started to feel kind of good, like different. And I woke up the next day, like I could jump out of bed. It was weird. Usually you kind of like rolling over the older you get. So, I hopped out of bed and I just felt good. Got up and made some breakfast, made some coffee, do my normal routine, took pills again, and I felt good all day and I started feeling good. And I started notice that I'm sleeping deeper and that I'm not achy anymore. I have scoliosis, if you want to know, that's curvature of the spine. I've had that my whole life, and I'm always achy and in pain and stretching. I just feel so much better now, less pain. I have more focus. I'm getting more done in my life. I feel clarity of mind. I just feel overall good. As my good friend Dave always says, I just feel 10 years younger, so it's just a plus. These products, and let me give one of my products. They have this creams product you rub on my thumb. Always having aches and pains in my thumb. Oh, gotta stay in the camera. From here to here in pain. I started rubbing it, and within days, I'm probably about 85 to 90% no pain. It's just amazing what the product has done for me and many others. But
I have to say, I finally bought the product too and brought it in, and I'm like everybody else, just a little bit skeptical. Everybody's telling their spiel, and it sounds so good, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But everything I do, I'm sitting in a chair. I do bookkeeping, I sell insurance, I write a book series, I host this show, and you're massive amounts of time in a chair. So your energy level may flag. Your brain energy's going crazy, but the rest of it's not. But I found within 24 hours, my energy level was much better. Like you, I had a little better sleeping experience. So I'm just really excited. And the more days that I take it, the more I see that difference. So I love
yeah,
the
subtle
supplements.
differences,
Yeah.
subtle little differences that are really, it's like, wow, I was not expecting that.
Well, and I
It's like,
wasn't even aware that I had that issue until it began to correct. And that was exciting
yeah,
too. So let
yeah,
me ask you something. After your unique, great experience, or maybe not so unique, after your great experience with the last company and knowing that Oliabo was created by some of the same developers, what do you expect this time, both for yourself and for anybody who joins our team, especially while it's in the early stages of the startup? What if I send this video to all the people that I've been talking to and they come on board, what can they expect? What do you expect for them?
well, I expect to visualize what they want out of what the company can offer them. If you don't have a why, you have to
Yeah.
have a why in everything. I get up. The reason, remember, why did I do well in college? Is I had a bill to pay. It was
Mhm.
not about me getting educated. It was about I needed to get that education so I can get a good job to support my family and pay my bills, the extra bill, because, college is a burden on people. So you have to have your why. What is your why? So, write it down, visualize it. God says to put it in tablets of stone where it can't be moved, can't be changed. And then what they'll expect from the team of a people who will help teach and support
Mhm.
them. Whatever you give, you'll get. So whatever you sow, you'll expect to sow, you'll get back. We'll care about you. We do mastermind trainings. We're always trying to come up with new ideas. We don't think we have the answer for everything. We're willing to learn and listen and be part of. Somebody might have a great idea who just comes on board. They're willing to share their idea, and we'll decide if we want to move the ship that way or not. But we're open to listening, because this is a great opportunity for anyone who comes on board.
Well, and it's a lot of fun in the meetings too, designing the videos, designing the audio that goes with it, and just
Yeah.
laughing with everybody as we go through different possibilities and settling on one. So I enjoy that. So, John, is there anything else that you would like to share with everybody before we wrap this up?
Well, I always start off with, if you're looking for an opportunity, at least take a look at what we have. Click on a bunch of links, watch some videos, check out our team. It don't cost you anything. Rena can introduce you to a bunch of people who will be able, besides myself, who will be able to help teach and train you. Um, uh, just pray about it, see where the Lord leads, what he has for you in your life. If you want to give more to your church, this is an opportunity. If you want to put away money for your kids college, here's a way of doing it. I got into business the last time to make $1,000 a month. It doesn't seem like a lot today, but it's a lot, because if I ever got hurt, I could at least pay my mortgage and live indoors. That was another goal. Set little goals in life. Someone doesn't, anyone who says, oh, I just want to be a millionaire, you better, well, what do you want to start off with? Let's start off with making a few $100s a month that can pay some of your bills down. A few extra $100 a month that maybe you can invest and make some more money with that. It's the little things that make the difference, not the big leaps. My big leap was in time, which I was going for. I wanted time. I can't even tell you about all the places I've seen in this country, throughout the world, that's in my mind from that opportunity to have more time to travel. When my kids were in school, when they weren't in school, they had 2 weeks off. They went to an all year round school. So when they had 2 weeks off, we seen different states, different parts of this country, just traveling and spending time with them. You can't get that back going to the office. So just remember that when you're wondering if this is difficult. 40 years of your life is very difficult and get nothing in reward for it.
John, I absolutely love that, and I'm so grateful that you came and shared your story on the Total Freedom Show, and we'll have you back down the road. And for those who are interested in seeing what we're talking about, um, check out the link solo.to/Rena Health, and there'll be a series of short videos there that will talk to you about this company, how the pay structure is, and what you're being involved in. And there will be a link to sign up to either be a customer if you just want to buy the product and see if it works as well for you as it does for us, or if you want to become a representative and make a little extra money for yourself. And for now, that's it for the Total Freedom Show this week. And we just so appreciate you coming and spending time with us. And I'll see you next week.